Hello and welcome to episode 29 of Crucible Bootcamp. I'm your host, King Koala, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Blade Dancer review of Skirmish on Bannerfall. So he is going to be using a last word sniper loadout, which is pretty standard. It's a good loadout for Bannerfall based on the way the map plays out in threes. It's a lot slower. It's a very large distance to get from normally from where you are to getting into the spawn. So it's not so much about spawn trapping people in Bannerfall in so much as it's about preparing for where they're going to move, or your enemy team is going to move around the map. So Hope Horizon is going to set up right outside this door and wait for someone to pull out and basically just punish him for being out of position. This is kind of how you deal with players and predict where they're going to move around the map. His teammates happen to get the other two, so now he's reset the spawn. So when you reset the spawns by pushing all the way into the enemy spawn, we spawned Bravo, we pushed into B, and now we're going inside door here to stop Alpha spawn. If we pushed all the way into Alpha spawn, that means we know that the enemy team is going to spawn either in corner over here or back in our initial. These are the two options based on where our teammates are, and our teammates are here in the middle lane pushing inside, and our teammates also there. So based on this positioning, you can kind of infer that the enemy team is going to spawn back where we initially spawned. So now you have to decide how you're going to set up to deal with the enemy off spawn. Most of the times as a sniper, you can go to the 50-50 on perch and try to deal with someone that decides that they're going to push up this direction, perch to perch. But if no one shows up, you have a lot of options from this direction. You can go down into Heavy Hall, or you can sweep around through tunnel into either center lane or out into Mohawk. So he's going to push back into B. And again, he's just going to set up. He's going to wait for people to push into him. Push through Heavy Hall. Now he's behind them. He's going to go for a flank. But when you go for a flank, you can't. Still have to keep paying attention to your radar. If we just back up a little bit, once we get our flank, there's a really good position that he shows up in later, and that's this window here. This window protects him as a head glitch from someone out in center lane, and also he has angles on someone out near the special. So that's where you should be looking if you're trying to go for this flank. You shouldn't be pushing all the way out here, because while he can engage, he does get crossfired from the center lane. You could potentially bait people into you in that position. It's a little risky if they're baiting shotguns into you, just based on the fact that they kill you so much faster than your last word. So here's a good thing here. He's not going to challenge. Luckily, his teammate pushes his buddy out of the way, but his buddy just continues to challenge the 50-50. You shouldn't hesitate. If you're not going to take care of the 50-50, you really shouldn't hesitate to move to get an angle. You should just move immediately if you're not going to challenge that lane. And if you are going to challenge that lane, you should be helping your teammate out. So this shot could have came a lot sooner if he just moved quicker. So it's important to notice that when you do have someone on radar, you can't be afraid to take a shot. So you can see, he has him lined up here, and he's just going to take a shot. If the box wasn't there, that swipe would have been good. Now this is where the 3-second rule comes into play. If you have no angles after 3 seconds, you need to reposition, because you've likely given your position away to the enemy, and they're going to work to surround you, especially a team that's more coordinated. So you don't want to spend too much time just sitting here waiting for people to make positional errors. And that's what sniping is good at. Sniping is good at punishing players for being out of position. It's not really good for pushing, because you have to set up so far out. And if no one pushes into you, or they challenge you with a jump or a slide and you're not prepared for it, then it's not really going to come to much. So we need to be aggressively pushing in towards spawn to deal with people, to create people out of position. And that's very different. It's a very different playstyle from a shotgun where you can just push into people and just punish them for getting close to you. Sniping is very different. Sniping, you want to push into where people are going to be and punish them for being there. And if they're not there, you need to reposition to where they're going to be constantly. You have to be in the head of your opponent in order to be a good sniper. You shouldn't be searching for targets. You should just know where they're going to be. So here he just doesn't check his lane. It's domed for it. It's pretty standard stuff. That's what happens when you get greedy for reses. Again, where are we looking? There's no one gonna be here. You don't need to be checking these lanes. You need to be pushing up with your teammates. The biggest issue that I see a lot of snipers have is they stay hardscoped down the same lane and they never really support their teammates. It's more important for you to not get a sniper shot off, but to team fire with your teammates, to push, potentially even trade, and win your team fights that way, than it is to just get a free pick and then not capitalize on it. Because if you end up getting a pick here, all you can really do as a sniper from this angle is just try to cover the orb, and while your teammates push forward in a 2v2. And that's not what you want. You don't want to cover an orb while your teammates get into a 2v2. You want to swarm the team with the numbers advantage as 3. Even solo like this, you should still be cooperating with your teammates, even without communication. In this position here, now that we're in, our teammate has died behind us. Our second teammate is actually out in the courtyard, and they're not able to support us here, and we have a super. I would just pop this super and try to jump around to engage these people, or I would just disengage completely. What I wouldn't do is try to continue the engagement, especially at half health. If I am going to do that, I'm going to do it with my sniper, not with my primary. Because you don't have enough time to properly challenge there with a primary. He has a good thing about sliding into that engagement, but still, we're at half health. It would have been better for us to just wait for our health and not play quite so aggressively. You can even wait for your teammates to support you. You don't have to make a big play. It's a lot easier to make plays with your teammates than it is on your own. So again, push to where people are going to be and then try to snipe them. So after we get these kills, our main objective is getting back to our teammates and supporting them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to push to our teammate. Again, as soon as we get a teammate down, I should be looking to try to get back to my other teammate. I shouldn't be trying to get picks here. So now we're trapped because we didn't spend the time that we needed to get out of our position. We basically cornered ourselves. And we can't support our teammate from this position. Again, we're holding on to our super just way too long. And then we overcommit to this fight. So the way that ends up happening is we get really greedy for kills because we're impatient. This is a perfect position for you as a sniper. You don't really need to do anything. The enemy team is going to have to push out of cover to either leave, and you know exactly where they are, so you can just wait for your teammates to come support you. You don't need to push in like this. And if you do, you need to pull back into cover. You don't want to continue to try to engage out of cover. So this is a very interesting use of super to try to cover heavy. But just because no one's on heavy doesn't mean they don't have it covered. And you need to keep that in mind. I would have rather seen a push out with your super from this position. It would have been better for you to actually, if we predict our enemy players are here hardscoped and here hardscoped, and we just pop a super, what you want to do is you want to, and we're here near a tree, move to Mohawk, try to get here, and then go over the top. That leaves us through cover. And we don't have to pick up heavy. It's okay if we don't pick up heavy. It's not going to be the end of the world. Yeah, it's good to deny heavy from an enemy team. But it's better not to waste your super at all. At least push them off of where they're covering. So off spawn, we see him go to the 50-50, he's going to check it, no one's there, he's going to move. This is good. This is what you want to do as a sniper. If no one's where you think they're going to be, you need to go to where you think they're moving instead. Hello, Vlad. So again, we're close to our teammates, so this is good. Not on our own. Get a good stick there, deal with the guy with heavy. Hopefully our teammate picks us up. Just simple plays. We're not really trying to go for anything big. Again, we're close to our teammate, but we need to be pushing out to try to support the teammates that are on the edge of our vision. Notice a lot of his pushes to try to deal with these players are head on, and that's not something you want to do as a sniper. That's one of the worst things you can do as a sniper is to push head on, because you have no way to properly defend yourself against a shotgun. You're doing all the work for the shotgunner. Like here. He's lucky that his opponent didn't hit all of his shots. Again, reposition. Let him come to you. Gets a shot. Now is a good time to push. Straightforward. That's a good push head on because he's undercover, which means you're going to be undercover as you push. And you're going to come down on top of him. And he was weak, so the shotgun likely isn't going to trade with you. You're likely going to kill him before he gets to you. But because we spent so much time on that encounter, now we're out of position. Again, look to be trying to regroup with your teammates. You're strongest as a team, not as an individual. Especially in solo threes. Again, head-on push, but that's the kind of encounter that happens when you push with your teammates. As long as you push with them, you don't have to do much work to get the same amount of points that you would have if you try to hit 4 shots on someone. If you're working with your teammates, it's very, very easy. This is how you should be moving as a sniper. So now he's going to break off to try to get an angle. This is perfect. You know where your teammates are, you know where they could potentially be pushed from, and he gets a free kill there because he tried to push for that angle to cover them. But again, don't wait. You want to push out. You want to try to support wherever your teammates went and deal with players where they're going to come from. So you see, he just goes to end up pinching that guy with his teammate. So if the other guy happened to kill and then turn around, he would have been right in the face of his sniper rifle. So it's good positioning there. Again, a head-on push, not so great. You don't need to be quite so aggressive. If his teammate was there, you would have been dead with that body shot. It was good that you pushed through cover, but it was bad that you went by yourself. You flushed the sniper out, so now you can get a better angle on this lane. You don't need to push all the way to him. Like, this is good for a solo match, but if you ever try to pull that against a team, most of the time the sniper isn't going to be by himself. If you're going to let someone get a res like that as a sniper, your goal should be to just kill the guy that's spawning. To just farm the guy. I would have popped my super a lot sooner and outside, pretty much as the guy got rezzed. So he has a really nice juke around this box, and then re-engages, which is good. It's a very good use of Arc Blade. But it could have been cleaner. If the whole purpose of that push was just to use Arc Blade to begin with, then you don't want to hesitate. Using it as a, oh god, I lost my, I'm going to lose my engagement kind of thing with a roaming super isn't a good idea. You're going to give your enemy opponent too much opportunity to shut you down. What you can do by panic supering like that is use a Nova or a Smash. That's fine. And I would encourage you to just win a 1 with that. You don't have to get multiple kills with the shutdown super. You don't have to shut down a super either. You can just use it as a free kill and use that momentum to turn a 3v3 into a 3v2. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And you could have used Arc Blade a lot more in this game just to push people off, just to go with your teammates to support and to attack similar angles. Now that death that he had there, it was just because he didn't slide or jump through that lane. He was searching for targets. He had no idea where they were. Again, now that you know where someone is, you can reposition. This is good. This reposition to get a snipe is really good. You see him off in the corner of your screen, and he takes the shot there. He didn't really have time to line up a shot. So now you have to decide how you're going to escape, right? You can either jump across the lane, which I would suggest, or you can slide, which gives your opponent an opportunity to still hit you, which he does. And the opponent still hits him. But he manages to get out of cover. So here, how I talked about earlier, this is where he should be. He's going to perform a really nice radar bait. He's just pushing up to try to find him, so he's going to punish him for pushing. That's what a sniper's good at, is punishing people that run out of position. Your sniper kills shouldn't be like montage worthy. They should just be nice, easy kills that you're going to get no matter what. It's the same thing as a shotgun. A shotgun, you shouldn't have to do a lot of, physical gymnastics throughout the map just to get in position. It should be easy. You should be punishing people pushing into you, or you should be moving through cover to get to them. You shouldn't have to back pedal and do all the slides and jump past someone. Like, those are advanced maneuvers that are great for winning 1v1s, but not so much as a team, unless you're trying to disrupt the enemy team. So again, some major takeaways are you really shouldn't push head on. Even in solo threes, when you know the person's by himself, it's still better that you not push directly straight forward. It's okay to let them go and re-engage from a different angle. Or just cover one of their escape routes. You can even go up top and just cover them moving through the hallway as a sniper. You don't necessarily need to push around to flank them. You don't always have to finish your kills. Especially if your teammates are all the way over here. Even if you trade, the enemy team's going to go up 50 points because your teammates are in no position to support you. And they're not going to get into any angles anytime soon to deal with a push. The only times you do want to push head on is if you're supported by teammates. So if you get a body shot here on tree and your teammate is out here on balcony, you can both push in. Your teammate has the alternate angle and you get the head on. Then if you trade, that's fine. Because you're going to get a res and your teammate's going to deal with the other person that's potentially here. But pushing by yourself is never a good idea. And if you do push head on, normally it's okay to push head on as a shotgunner. Again, move through cover and try to get there. The other thing, and this is the major one, is sniping is about positioning and understanding how the enemy is going to move. So you can position yourself to force engagements that are in your favor. But the longer you wait, the worse your teammates get punished for you not being proactive. So what I mean by that is, if you're waiting out here on alley stairs or alley balcony, and you're trying to get this angle here, and no one comes, your teammates are slowly going to edge forward, right? They're going to be in B, they're going to be around Mohawk, then the next thing you know, they're going to be on, in street, they're going to be on center lane, and you're still going to be here over the course of 3 or 4 seconds. So by the time your enemy your teammates get here, and they're engaging these enemy players, maybe they trade, then the enemy teammate has a really clear path to get these reses, right? Whereas you have to work really hard to try to move forward to cover. And now you're in a 3v1 because you were so far out of position. If you take less than 3 seconds, if you line up a shot and no one is there, you need to just reposition. And you don't, when I say reposition, you don't have to move very far. Not knowing where someone isn't is just as good as knowing where someone is. Because if they're not in this area here, and you know your teammates are here and they haven't died yet, you know that they're likely going to be in this portion of the map or in this portion of the map. Which means that you can push up to boxes to reposition. And you can look up into balcony. Okay, no one's on balcony. That means they're either inside or they're still all the way out on the street. So, if you know they're not on balcony, you can push up to Mohawk. And you can get a shot in the tunnel. No one's on tunnel? Okay, now you've eliminated another section. Now they can only be here instead. Or here. So you can move up a little bit further. You just slowly edge forward. Maybe you're on boxes now. Now you can see into street. Okay, they're not in street. Now you know for a fact they're in C-flag. And you can primary here. You can sweep around corner to try to get a flank. You can push into street to support your teammates. Maybe your teammates are out here. You have a lot of options. The more information you have on where the enemy team is not, it's basically a game of logic. If they're not here, they have to be, you know, elsewhere. If they're not elsewhere, then there's only, you know, you narrow it down until there's only one possible solution. They're in C flag. And then you start your whole process over again. Well, I can support my teammates. If I do that, how are we going to push in? Where are they going to push out of? If they do decide to push out, where am I going to need to look? So if you know they're in C flag, and then when you go to engage, they're no longer there, they've likely pushed out into the courtyard, right? So from here, you know if you go to balcony, you have a good angle out on courtyard. But you also know that's dangerous for you, so maybe it's better for you to go back to alley and start the whole thing over. You know, get an angle out here. So let's go into a game and actually show you guys that. Okay. Put my notes away. I mean, overall, when you saw his KD at the end, he's went 17-7. So it was a really good game. Like, I'm not trying to take that away from you, but if you're gonna get to that next level, if your gun skill is good enough, and you want to get to that next level where you can either A, start carrying people, or B, just continue to improve and be a better player overall. The next step you have to take is you have to understand how your teammates are going to move, or how your teammates are going to move around the map, and how the enemy players are going to move around the map. And as a sniper, that's going to be the hardest thing for you to figure out, because it's really easy to punish snipers that get out of position, especially with the flinch changes now. Okay, so what I would do if I was in his position and just pretend my grass was a sniper. If I'm looking in these locations here and I don't see anyone, I want to push down into cover. So I'm into cover now. And I can look here from boxes. I can look into B. Okay, no one's there. I'm going to push through cover, so now I'm behind tree. So you want to cover where you're going to get attacked from, right? So I can get attacked from this angle and this angle, and that's it. So if I know that my teammates are there, no one's going to be there, I only need to worry about what's in front of me. No one's there? Okay, I'm going to push across. And again, you can cover the same angles. This one's, you know, you're safe here. They have to push all the way out of that door into center lane to deal with you. So all you need to look at is balcony here, into B. And if you already checked back alley and no one's there, then you don't need to worry about that yet. You just need to pay attention to your radar. So to perform the flank, you know, you can perform a long flank. And when you go for a flank, you have to commit fully to it. You don't want to stop. What you don't want to do is stop midway through here and be like, oh, someone popped them up on my radar. What am I going to do? No, if you're the flank, you want to get all the way behind them. Again, here's my cover, so I can deal with anyone that pushes me. If I'm a shotgunner, this is really good because I can just deal with people trying to jump up top of me. And you can either jump up top here, which exposes you, or you can stay down here in your cover. This is a lot harder to get kills from, but it's a lot safer. And as a flank, your priority is being safe. You want safe kills, you don't want risky kills. Risky kills are what you do in the front, because you have backup. You have teammates to deal with you. When you're a flank, you need to protect yourself, and you need to know where your escape routes are. So here, really, we only have 2 escape routes. Push out of cover and try to get inside hangar, or stay down in our cover, and if someone pushes us, we just leave through the corner room. We try to get across. Right? We can even re-engage the flank by coming up to the top of hangar, and we can deal with people here. Here, if they push in, down there. Maybe 2 people come in. Again, our escape route, really safe. The thing we have to worry about the most is someone trying to flank us from balcony. So we deal with someone flanking us from balcony, and we just continue to stay into cover and check our lanes. So let's say we snipe someone across an alley from where I am now on balcony, and our teammates are to our left. So that gives us 2 options. We know that no, we don't need to worry about someone over here, and if someone goes all the way around to get the res, that's fine. Our main priority is getting a numbers advantage and swarming the enemy players. Not getting in another 1v1, because that's risky, because if you lose that 1v1, they're going to go up 100 points, or 50 points, because they're going to kill you to deal with the free snipe you got, and they're going to get the res. So now you're down points, because you tried to get into another 1v1. If instead, you go to support your teammates, here, you can let them get the res, that's fine, because you know exactly where they're going to be at. If it says they got a res, and you're in this position here, as a sniper, you know, hey, they're going to be coming right out in the B lane, I can be ready for that. Reses give you perfect information. And you should use that to your advantage. Even if it just means you know where they're going to be at, you don't necessarily need to challenge them out here. Maybe you're not a sniper. Maybe you're like me and you have a sidearm and a pulse rifle on. You can still challenge the sniper here, but you can also reposition knowing that they're going to be out there. Knowing that maybe if you push a little bit closer, you'll have a better shot. Or if you push around, you can get even closer to get in sidearm or shotgun range. You don't have to cover every single res, including in trials. If you're just not there, or you can't cover it properly, use the free information to get a new position, to get a new angle, because they don't know where you are. You know where they are. So let's say we're going to push someone off spawn, right? Same scenario. We killed someone there, and the enemy team is wiped, so we're going to push across to reset. Right? Our team is in Bravo, and now we've reset spawn. So we know the enemy team is going to spawn all the way back there, and maybe all the way in that corner. So as a sniper, all we need to do on this map, because we can't push spawn, it's just too large, is set up where we think they're going to be at. If we think they're going to go through center lane, because they've been doing it all game, we just set up on boxes and snipe them as they come out.
Only 5
you know, we have a snipe lane there if they hug the corner, and we have a snipe lane here if they just walk out, trying to deal with us in B. Otherwise, we can come across and do the same thing. Snipe here, pull back into cover, or come into New Monarchy, and you can deal with someone that spawns or decides to move this way. You can deal with someone that pushes into New Monarchy, but what we're not doing is pushing all the way into the enemy team. We're getting an angle based on where we think they're going to move. And if they don't move here, that means we just go back to support our teammates. Playing in threes is by yourself in solo matches without a team is all about pushing out to try to get free kills and then pulling back to try to team fire to get a numbers advantage. And that's what all you need to do the whole game as a sniper. You go for a flank, you get a pick, okay, go back to your teammates, swarm the remaining players as a team. That's all you need to do. Staying there and covering the orb is normally going to result in you dying more often than not, because the enemy team is either A, going to know where you are because their teammate got sniped, or if you're playing against a full team, they're just going to communicate that information to you, and you covering the orb is useless because they don't necessarily need to to pick them up, they can just reposition around you, here and here, while you're covering this orb, and just kill you. So it's important to keep in mind, you only have a couple seconds before the enemy team has perfect information on you, and you need to deal with however they're going to react to that. Constantly be moving. The best snipers are the ones that are never in the same spot. They're constantly sniping you from different angles. And what that's going to do psychologically for you is you're going to think that you can't move anywhere on the map, because you're just going to get sniped every single angle. Really, you're not going to get sniped every single angle, you just can't move in a predictable manner. So if you're constantly going to the same spot for revenge because, you want to get that kill back, you want to challenge the guy that's out on tree, and you're constantly going to come back here and he's going to be ready for you every single time, you can't give your opponent the opportunity to figure out how you're going to play. If you're going to challenge that spot, you can just do it from a different angle every single time. So then the sniper's not going to know where to look. If you're getting sniped from all angles, you should be attacking from all angles. So now I'm going to attack from balcony. Okay, I got a kill there. Alright, this next time, they're going to be looking at balcony and they're going to be looking out in street. So I'm going to attack from boxes instead. So now they have to look 3 separate places if they're going to go out on this tree to be safe, to know they're safe. Alright, now I'm going to go out here on alley. I'm going to challenge them from alley. Alright, now they have to look 4 places. And if I'm a sniper and I have to look 4 places, I'm no longer going to go to this position. Alright, if I have to look here, 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 and here, I don't want to snipe here anymore. I only want 1 or 2 locations max. So I'm going to reposition here, so I only have to deal with 1 or 2. Or I'll reposition here, where I only have to deal with 1. And I'm completely safe from the other angles. So it goes both ways. And you have to be willing to adapt. It's a game of seesaw, right? Sometimes you're gonna go up, you're gonna get killed, and then when you go down, you're gonna have to deal with the next move that your opponent's gonna make. And if they stay in the same spot, that's good for you. You want people to stay in the same spot so you can attack them from different angles so they feel like they can't move around the map because they have no idea where you're gonna be. So I know this is some higher level stuff. The review that I got, or the video that I got, was from a higher level player, so I felt like you should
only 1 minute left.
Get a little bit more complicated of a review. So if that's over some people's heads, or that's just not what you're ready to work on, that's fine. But it's still important to keep that in mind, and the little things you can work on as you work on the little things that you need to. Moving through covers is the most basic one. And you can keep in mind when you move through cover, alright, where are they going to be at? Alright, how can I move through cover this way to deal with the same angle?
30 seconds left. Stay focused.
Alright, well, that's been today's episode. Thank you all for watching. If you want to support the stream, as usual, the Patreon is patreon.com/Crucible Bootcamp. You can become a patron, get some tutoring, just support the show, play with me. I'm on Xbox now, so I'll be doing that. There are going to be some gun skill classes that are going to be open. There's going to be 4 classes, 2 on PlayStation and 2 on Xbox. Next episode, I will announce when those are, and it's first come, first serve. I'll tell you guys how to sign up for them and reserve your slot. They're going to be on the morning, on Saturdays. So I'll tell you when to sign up for those. And again, first come, first serve. And if you don't show up, I'm going to try to get somebody else. Next time, I'm going to be doing another 3s. I'm going to try to be doing more 3s reviews. We've done 2 Rumbles in a row, so I'm going to do 2 3s in a row. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. I've been your host, King Koala, and class is dismissed. Bye.